So today I'm going to continue the discussion that I began some time ago about Peng, Liu, Ji, and An, the four directions of movement which, when combined, produce the so-called silk reeling spiral movements of Tai Chi Chuan. The first video that we did on this subject was Peng, and in that video, I remind you, I introduced the idea of the vertical circle, the circle that moves entirely in this plane. You may remember that we talked about a bicycle wheel and how the air valve, the filler valve in a bicycle wheel could be tracked relative to our center. And in Peng, that bicycle wheel valve went down and then up, proscribing the bottom of a beach ball, that sort of a shape. And you may remember that the quality of Peng, P-E-N-G, but pronounced P-U-N-G, the quality of Peng is uplifting, not just spiritually, but physically, uplifting to your opponent. That's why we call Peng the root breaker. So when Peng is delivered into an opponent, that opponent feels themselves lifted, disconnected from the ground, and is therefore unable to make an effectual attack on you because they're too busy falling down. Today we're going to talk about An, A-N. I've seen it also spelled A-H-N, which is the second half of the vertical circle. So now we're going to consider this imaginary bicycle wheel with its axle right here, and the rotation of the circle is this, the wheel. And now, instead of thinking about the bicycle, the valve, instead of thinking about it going down and then up as it did in Peng, we're now going to think about it going relative again to my breastbone, to my center, up and then down. It's important in both these movements, in both these directions of movement, to remember that they are semicircular in their quality. So they're not linear. So again, Peng is not simply going down. It's going down and then up. You have to finish the semicircle. In An, today's demonstration, you begin by going up, not straight up, not up my nose, not up to the sky, but up in a circle. And then you have to finish that semicircle by going from the apex down. So the bicycle wheel analogy, that visual again, would be up, over the top, and down. So you can imagine now, and you'll get to see in a moment, you can imagine now that in Peng, if the force and the direction of movement is into and lifting your opponent, An is going to have the opposite effect, which is it's going to be overwhelming, over the top, and then crumpling the opponent down. Okay? So many people, including me, enjoy receiving Peng rather, because we're lifted and we move away. Nobody enjoys receiving An, because An goes straight, not straight, but goes eventually into the ground and down. So that a victim, a recipient, an opponent who receives An ends up crumpling to the ground in front of you. Now, please remember, these are not techniques. These are not things we do in combat. This rather is a description of a direction of movement only. It's like a compass point, north, south, east, west. This is an explanation of a shape. And eventually, when we learn all four of them, Peng, Liu, Ji, and An, we'll put them together into what we call silk reeling movement.